Hello and welcome to Faithfully Stampin' with Jennifer Helm. I am Jennifer Helm, the Faithful Stamper, and I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! Today I have for you something a little bit different. Last week on my Facebook Live, I issued a challenge. I have these wooden dice, we call them challenge dice, and there's different elements on each one. Theme of a card, a technique, size, color family, things like that. And so I rolled the dice and this is what we landed on. A Slimline card that was a thank you card using paper piecing, our neutrals color family, and some bling. And so I'm going to show you today what I put together to meet this challenge. If you're interested in checking out my Facebook page, you can participate in future challenges that may be done on the page. I do them every now and again. So this is our Slimline card. You can see it's not your standard size card. This one fits in a legal size envelope, which is typically your business size envelope. I think it's the number 10. So they're not the prettiest, but I am going to stamp on my envelope, of course, to accent it a little bit. And so this card here is the Slimline form. This is kind of the larger. I've heard recently people are making mini Slimlines, but I would just refer to this size as Slimline. Obviously slim, oh, I just lost the word I wanted to use. Slim format. That's not the word I wanted, but I'm not gonna stand here and take forever to think about it. Okay, so let me run you through how you make this. Now, our card base tonight is pecan pie, keeping in our neutral color family. And this card base is 7 inches by 8.5. And then we score the 7-inch side right down the middle at 3.5. So I'll set that there for a minute in case you're taking pictures or notes. So just fold down the middle. I always score because I'm not good at folding paper in half without a score line. I muck it up every time. So this card I'm using in the horizontal orientation. So ours will be this way. I'll talk about that again in a minute. So the first step is we are going to take another piece of cardstock and layer it on top. I had this the right way and I turned it the wrong way. So layer 1 is early espresso cardstock, and this is 3.25 by 8.25. I'm just going to layer this right on top using my Stampin' Seal. This card does not require any specific kind of adhesive. So my refills have come in and I'm just ready to roll with my Stampin' Seal tape runner. Ooh. So next up we have what I'm calling layer number 2. This layer is another 1/4 inch smaller, so it's 3 by 8. And this I am using Designer Series paper. This paper is from our Delightful Wishes suite. So the other side is very bright and cheery. The whole pack of paper is Daffodil Delight. There's Pool Party in there, and there's some green as well as this very nice print. And it really worked well with the neutrals color family. It was a great background for this card. I'm really a fan of anything like this that's got a nice like textured look to it. I'm really fond of paper like that. Not that this isn't gorgeous. I made cards with this all weekend, but this worked for our purposes today. I am not going to glue that down yet. We're going to stamp on it first. Okay, so the stamps that I am using tonight is our Everyday Details red rubber cling set. And the reason I chose this stamp set is because I'm going to show you how to paper piece. For paper piecing, you need an image that has an open section to it. Like this flower pot is lovely, the cup, or the eggs worked well in this nesting or in the nest stamp. So that is why I chose that. And then I just mentioned that Delightful Wishes paper. Here's the coordinating stamp set. I'll even give you a peek at the dies. They're beautiful for some die cut flowers. And there's a great label in there too. But I'm using this tiny little, I keep calling it a powder puff stamp. I'm not sure what exactly you want to call that, but it's a great accent stamp. So let's get into the paper piecing. I have Early Espresso ink that I'm using for my, my image tonight. And I've got the red rubber cling stamp, so I don't need anything underneath because it's got that cushion built right in. So I'm going to ink up my stamp, make sure I have enough ink on it, and stamp here. I don't want it right on the corner. There we go. Lovely. Now, to get to those robin's eggs, obviously I can't just color them blue. I mean, I could, but it would be skewed a little bit because of the color of the paper. So what I'm going to do is bring over a piece of scrap paper, and I pulled out some Blue Day SP. This is from our Mixed Media Florals online exclusive paper. And this is perfect for bird eggs. So I'm going to stamp up or ink up my stamp again. I don't have to stamp the whole thing though. I just basically need to get the eggs. I was thinking robin's eggs, although it's not quite the right shade of blue, but there we go. I just need to get them on the paper. One thing I wanted to mention, I alluded to it earlier with paper. If your orientation is horizontal, make sure you cut your paper accordingly, because you can also do these cards in the vertical one. So if you have directional paper, just be mindful when you cut. This is a non-directional paper with the all over print, so it really didn't matter, but I just wanted to point that out, because one of the things that aggravates me the most is when I cut my paper the wrong direction, because then I just have to make another card, but then I have to recut. Sometimes I'm out of that paper, and just one of those little things that annoys you. Okay. So for our paper piecing, I am going to, hopefully very quickly, fussy cut these bird eggs out. And then we're going to glue them right on top of our image here. Fussy cussing. That's probably a craft term, but fussy cutting was what I was going for. I knew one of these days I was going to say that on a video. This is not my favorite thing to do, so I'm kind of grateful that this is a simple image. Otherwise, I probably would have cut it off camera, because I'm sure you all know how to use scissors. But here we go. And I think I'm going to take off that one little piece. All right, so here are our bird eggs. Now, before I glue it here, I'm going to go ahead and take our card base and glue our paper to it. Now that I'm done stamping directly on it, I'm going to go ahead and attach this. Okay. If you've watched me before, you know my glue, my adhesive, is famous for being difficult on camera. It's proving to be the norm tonight. All right, so now that that is attached, I'm going to take my scrap paper again. I still have my silicone mat packed up from a weekend of crafting. Oop. So glue on the back, and then I'm just going to place it right over top of the eggs in the image. And look at that. Isn't that nice how those eggs pop? I love it. Okay. Before I get to finishing the rest of the card, I'm going to add just a couple accents. I'm comfortable doing that with everything glued down. That powder puff stamp I was talking about, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a couple around here on the paper. Some a little bit off here at the bottom. I don't want to go crazy, but let's see. That's probably okay. Okay, enough. Otherwise, we'll be here all night while I nitpick. Okay, so while I have that stamp out, really quick, the inside of the card is crumb cake. Again, keeping with that neutral theme. This is 3 1/4 by 8 1/4. So it's the same size as that early espresso or layer 1 cardstock. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp these, and then I can put my ink away before I throw something in it. Does anybody else have that issue? Okay. So then this gets put on the inside of the card. You can obviously embellish as much or as little. This was really in keeping with the theme of the cards. And I like just dressing up that kind of long, plain piece of paper with just some small accents. All right, so let's finish the card. First up, I'm going to put a banner on the card. Now I have Mossy Meadow, again, another neutral, which would be perfect for this card. And there's nothing wrong with my rectangle shape, but I wanted to dress it up a little bit and create a banner. Now, one of the skills I do not possess is making a banner easily. Some of my friends have this and I do not. By just cutting a slit up the middle and then angling the corners in, I do not have the gift for evenness when it comes to making a banner. So when I do that, I'd end up with a piece of paper, you know, as wide as my thumb. I found kind of a little cheat because I don't have a punch handy that would work for this. So our Stylish Shapes dies, which are some of my favorites, have a banner in it, but this isn't the right size. It's too small for the word I want to use. So I'm just going to take this banner and lay it on my paper, if my hands would work correctly, and just kind of hold it in place. Take a pencil and trace that banner edge, and then lickety-split, trim right on that pencil line, and I have a banner shape. I'm actually gonna flip it over. Now this one, I think I drew it a little crooked, but like I said, this is why I don't hand cut them myself, but just a little trick that I thought I could teach you. All right. To this banner, I'm going to add the die cut word thanks. Now I'm going to give a little plug for one of our products that you can check out online. That is our paper pumpkin kit. It's our monthly subscription kit in a box that usually, probably at least 8 months of the year, if not more, is a card kit where you can make 8 or 9 different cards, sometimes 3 cards each of 3 designs. Sometimes the kits are treat boxes or perpetual calendars or something different like that. But what I love is we sell paper pumpkin add-ons is what we call. And lately we've had one that covers a set of 3 months. I happen to keep mine in a stamp set, and I've ordered 3 of them, so I have room for 1 more in here. But the stamp set tends to, or the die set tends to come with a label and some accents, some words, and that is where my thank you comes from. So if you're interested in paper pumpkin, please feel free to reach out if you have any questions that are not answered on the website. And always, if you are interested in a paper catalog, you can reach out to me as well if you don't already have a demonstrator you're working with. I would be happy to get you one. So I die cut the word thanks out of Misty Moonlight. And what I did was I put adhesive on the back. I took a piece of wide tape. Basically, I created a sticker. So I'm going to peel this off. And hopefully, some days this works well and some days it doesn't. Not too bad tonight. I'm going to punch out very carefully the 2 little pieces that wanted to hang out in the die. And we'll see if they stick to my fingers now. Yep. Okay. The only problem with those little pieces is they want to hang around together. See, it's stuck on my thumb. And now under my fingernail. Okay, come on. So then I can very easily take my word thanks and carefully put it down like that. This adhesive trick to make your own sticker basically is fantastic for things like these words, because trying to get glue on the back of this and then put it down without getting glue everywhere, that's another skill I do not possess. And you'd be using a lot of glue dots, but this worked very well for that. So now the banner is going to go on the card with some dimensionals. Obviously, I could glue it flat as well. But there is almost the entirety of our card. I'm just going to take some bling. That was our last element for our Slimline thank you card with paper piecing and neutrals. Got to get the bling right. These are some of my favorite embellishments that we have. These are adhesive backed textured dots. I'm a huge fan of this kind of brassy look. And these were perfect for our neutrals and to go with this card. I actually ordered several more sets of this because I'm such a fan of these embellishments. Okay, so there is our Slimline thank you card. Now, I do have a couple other samples to show you, keeping with the theme. So this one I did in the vertical orientation. Again, the paper piecing is a little bit different with this one, where I just use die cut stamped elements but put them together, but you can kind of still get the idea. A thank you card. So you have some options even with these Slimline cards. Here is another one. This one features a paper that is an online exclusive coming tomorrow. So this is early March 2025, but be sure to check out our online exclusives category on my website. Always lots of interesting things. We have kits that if you are intimidated by creating your own card, we sell card kits that you can follow the directions or put them together with your own flair. It's up to you. So again, here we've got our thank you card with some paper piecing. The basket is stamped. I know it's a little bit on the subtle side, but you can see it there. And then last but not least, here is a card featuring some other new online exclusive, the Designer Series paper, and all these rectangles have beautiful detail work to them. Can you see the stitching and the different patterns? I really, really love that. And it is very subtle. You almost don't notice it, but the pot here that the flowers are in are paper pieced as well. And there's our little bling. So I hope you enjoyed learning to make our Slimline card. Obviously, you could use it with any color family for any different occasion, but I just wanted to show you the challenge cards that I made. If you're not already a subscriber here on the page, I would love for you to join the community. You can just click that notification bell and receive a little ding each time a card technique goes live on the page. And you can find me on Facebook as The Faithful Stamper. Thank you so much for watching. Take care and happy crafting.